welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Shy, and I'm gonna read some Reddit, and we're gonna diamond paint a cute little coaster. So I'm gonna read some AITA, or Am I the Silly Billies? The first one. Am I the silly Billy for telling my wife not everything is a personal offense towards her? We shall see. I, 42 male, have a brother, 44 male. Objectively speaking, for his age, he looks pretty good. Good skin, full head of hair, all that. He doesn't live too far, so he comes over every now and again. My wife and I have an 11-year-old, a very curious son. Last weekend when my brother came over, my son asked him why he's not bald, because it came up under his search suggestions on his laptop. The question was also because I guess he had read that stress causes the male pattern baldness as well, and my brother's work is fairly stressful. That was difficult to read, sorry. My wife got mad at his response to the question because he said, yeah, but I'm not married, so I don't have to come home to anyone bothering me. My son just said okay. But later my wife said that she didn't like my brother's remark because she thought it was sexist. But I don't think he meant it like that, and I told her that she doesn't have to take offense to everything that could possibly be about her. The discussion kind of fizzled off from there as she turned around and went to bed, but seemed kind of annoyed by me following in the morning. Am I the silly Billy? Also, I have a full head of hair too. That's why I didn't really think it was that serious. Bro, you are the silliest of Billies. I can't even believe what I just read. I'm flabbergasted. Firstly, you need to correct your brother because he's in your house saying stuff like that with your wife around. It's 100% her business, and if she takes offense to it in her own home, that's her choice. The fact that you tried to make her feel bad for making it about herself when she's in her own home. And another thing, you're teaching your son that sexism is okay, and it's so not. Like, not even to joke about. And he's gonna be a full grown man one day cracking the same jokes, and it's not a good look on you, honestly. We're gonna go to the next story because I'm thoroughly annoyed with the first one, and I'm hoping for something there. Am I the silly Billy for humiliating my ex's new girlfriend in front of our friend group? I, 22 female, broke up with my boyfriend, 24 male, around 8 months ago. We decided to mutually call it quits and parted on pretty good terms, which is good because we just so happen to share a friend group. After a rough patch, I decided to start taking a bit more care of myself, eating better, going to the gym, going to therapy. The shift was pretty evident, both my attitude and the way I look. My friend said I looked much happier and healthier, and I began gaining confidence little by little. Now, I'm a huge nerd. I play D&D weekly. I have thousands of hours on Stellaris. Sorry if I said that wrong. But my most relevant hobby to the story. I like to cosplay as a hobby. Most of my old cosplay involved characters that don't show their face or body much. Hornet from Hollow Knight, Mono from Little Nightmares, etc. But since I've been feeling a bit more confident, I decided for that big con in my city, I'd like to try something different. A friend convinced me of going as Viper and Chamber from Valorant, so for the past 6 months, we've been pouring most of our free time into the cosplays. 3 weeks ago, I sent a picture of me wearing the cosplay to the group chat, asking for feedback for final details. My ex immediately DM'd me, asking me to please not wear that cosplay to the con, because it might make his new girlfriend uncomfortable. I asked what about it would make her uncomfortable, but he refused to elaborate. I knew he was dating someone new, but I didn't know she was coming to the con with us. I tried to explain to him that this was months worth of work, and I couldn't throw it away, all because some girl I'd never met was going to be uncomfortable about it. In the end, I wore it to the con, and it was a huge success. I tried to keep my distance from the larger chunk of the group because my ex and his new girlfriend were with them. But we did spend a good part of the day with them. Throughout the whole thing, the new girl kept making snide comments at me and laughing whenever I asked to pose for pictures, when everyone looked uncomfortable, but nobody said anything. After leaving the con to have dinner, though, another friend asked the new girl if she wouldn't like to try cosplay as well. Her answer was, why would I need more attention from guys? I already have a boyfriend. I'm not a... I snapped and I told her to stop being a pick-me just because I got the attention all day. She started to cry immediately. My ex steps in, asking me to apologise. I tell him I'll only do it if she apologises for the way she's been acting around me all day. More and more of our friends start to join in the screaming match, and it gets so bad we end up getting kicked out of the restaurant. It's been 5 days and my ex is threatening to leave the friend group if I don't apologise. I honestly wouldn't care if he did, but some of our friends are asking me to stop him from leaving. Should I care? Am I the silly Billy? Honestly, I don't think you're the silly Billy. I think you're just out here living your best life. And my personal opinion is I wouldn't be friends with my ex, even if it's in a friend group setting, because it's just uncomfortable and things like this come up. And she was rude to you and mean to you for no reason. You didn't deserve that. She was probably very jealous of you for looking so good, and she was probably concerned that her boyfriend was thinking that, given the fact that you two have a past together. That doesn't justify her behaviour. She shouldn't have been rude in the first place, but obviously it stems from somewhere a little bit deeper. All in all, you just reacted to the behaviour she's been portraying all day, so I don't think you did anything wrong. Next story. Am I the silly Billy for not wanting my friend to be a bridesmaid since she's poor? Honestly, it doesn't sound great as a heading, but in college I was in a friend group of 5 or more people. One of them I don't talk to anymore. 3 of them I asked to be at my wedding as bridesmaids, and the post is about Sarah. Fake name. I have an issue with Sarah, and that is her money habits. She's lovely besides this. My issue with Sarah is she expects other people to foot the bill since I make the most out of my friend group. They usually look at me to cover her cost. Sarah is the main pusher of this. If I ever bring it up, she claims I'm looking down on her for being poor, and that it isn't her fault that teachers don't make too much money. It has happened over and over and over again. If I say no, she basically has a tantrum in my eyes, and I get called out for being selfish. It's annoying, and my other friends have also gotten annoyed with it. I decided I didn't want her as a bridesmaid. I don't want to deal with her whining about money or have to spend money to cover her cost. I tried to call her and tell her why she wasn't going to be a bridesmaid before I told the other 3 girls. I knew it would be a shock, and I didn't want her to learn from someone else. She never got back to me. I tried to call her 3 times. This weekend I asked the other women and they said yes. One of them posted online saying how excited she was that I got a call from Sarah. I explained why nicely to her, and we got into an argument. She claims I'm pushing her for being poor, and I told her that her money issue is the main reason. She is very bad at talking to the friend group at this moment, and I want an outside opinion on this. You know, silly Billy, I think you're just annoyed that she feels entitled to your money, which is completely fair. It wouldn't even be so bad if it was like every now and again, but it seems to be every time you meet up with this girl, she has the same intentions and same need for trying to take your money. And that's just not on. We're going to do a short one for the last one. My female 28, boyfriend, male 30, insist on naming our unborn child after his passed away ex-girlfriend. So my boyfriend's ex, Robin, died in a train sidewalk incident a few years ago, and he was pretty shaken up by it. I think our relationship was a bit of a coping mechanism towards the beginning, but has since flourished and grown into much more. He has overcome his trauma. He has since befriended and forgiven the train that killed her. We have a baby on the way, which he insists on naming after his ex. I'm really conflicted, as the decision makes me uncomfortable, but I don't want it to get in the way. If this is a moment he really needs for closure, am I the silly Billy? I don't think you're silly Billy. I think that's a very uncomfortable situation to be in. I think first name is definitely like a big no-no. You could maybe talk about the middle name, but honestly, I understand it's out of respect, but it is your child as well. So if it's not something that you're comfortable with, then you need to communicate that, and communicate it in a respectful way, in a way where hopefully he understands and doesn't take offense to it. Yeah, I guess that's all you can do, is just try and talk to him. But that's all for my video today. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any suggestions on how to make my content better, or any stories you want me to read, don't hesitate to drop them my way, put them in the comments. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.